I waited 20 years to have a child. I'm one and done. By choice. I have everything I ever dreamed of, which makes it really strange when people keep asking me when I'm going to have another one. Not if, when. I'm 42 years old in a couple of weeks. Back off. I'm not going to have another one. I'm one and done by choice. I'm living my best life right now. I'm working part-time. I have a partner that I live with that I adore. I've got a baby that I longed for. And I'm going on quite a lot of holidays this summer. My life is perfect right now. If I had another baby, it would tip me over the edge. Going through the newborn stage the first time was hard enough. Mentally, it almost broke me. So let's just let mums get on with their life. If they want to have another baby, or they're trying for another baby, or they want to talk to you about a second, third, fourth, fifth, 100th child, let them. If they don't, just shut up. None of your business anyway. Stop being so nosy.
Hello, welcome back to the Girl Chat, where we share our thoughts and experiences on different topics so that we can help each other make informed choices. Today we're going to be talking about the one and done mothers or one and done parents, and as we have looked at other topics before, we're going to see why some mothers have decided to be one and done and their thoughts about it and what has inspired them to make that choice, so that if you're already a parent and that is a path you'd want to consider, then you can hear the points for that. So share your thoughts down below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that we can keep each other informed.
I'm not gonna lie, I love a good Facebook mom group, right? I'm in one. Last night, I got into it with the admins of one of the groups that I'm in because I basically said, hey, look, I'm sick. I do not know how people who have more than one child do this. Like, having one child needing me while I'm sick, while I'm fighting for my life, was atrocious. And that's basically what I was saying, was like, oh my God, Flower, basically giving the tins to moms of multiples because I couldn't do that shit, which is why I'm one and done. And one thing I'm quickly realizing is that if you're a mom of one, sometimes you're just going to have to be quiet. Because as soon as you say that, the moms of multiples get in their feelings. And I know, I'm sorry, I'm clocking your tea. It's the ones that hate that they had more than one and can't do anything about it. Because those are the only ones that'll get like, I got a call. But basically what I was saying was, the moms of multiples that hate that they have more than one are the only ones that get in their feelings when a mom that is one and done says anything. I saw the same thing happen when that girl in here was like, women who have one child are the real it girls, because having one kid is elite as fuck. You're not gonna try to talk me out of that. And the people I was going back and forth with in the comments are like, oh my God, literally it doesn't matter how many kids you have. It's the same type of heart. It's the same type of struggle. No, the fuck it's not. And you're not about to sit up here and play me like that. Because I'm choosing to have one, I will never have to go as hard as someone who has 2, 3, 4 kids. I won't. That is not going to happen. And that's okay. That is the life that you chose. I chose to live this one because I wanted to live a certain type of lifestyle that you cannot do when you have more than one. That's your facts. And I don't know why they get so upset about that. Like, I know why they get so upset about that, but like, I'm sorry.
Y'all, having one kid is a flex, okay? And I was reminded of that on this app. I saw a TikTok where a guy was like, whenever he sees like parents with like one kid, it gives chic, it gives Vogue. And I was like, yes, it definitely does. Like, I don't know, something about just having one kid, it's just so intentional. It's giving, I care about the environment. It's giving, I'm gonna still have a life. I can still do what I want to do even though I have a kid. I always see parents with like more than one kid, and they always look like they're having a hard time, and they're always trying to get me to do the same thing, and it's like, no, I have one kid over here and I love it for me. Okay, it just gives very like, look at me, I just have one and done. But no shade to those who have 2 or 3. It's just that y'all just look more serious, you know what I'm saying? And we having fun over here, especially if you're a boy mom. Don't let me get started on that. All right, y'all.
One and done has never appealed to me until this trip. Like, it's so manageable when you just have one. Beyond manageable. And so fun. And like, our relationship is so special. And I just keep thinking about like, what if I had 3 kids? But people say that love multiplies, it doesn't divide. But I'm just like really seeing the benefits of being one and done right now.
I just started filming a video on why we're a one and done family, and I started to get worked up about it because it is wild to me. I don't want to say that it's frowned upon, but how crazy it is to society to be a one and done family. Parents of multiples, I love that. I respect that. That's their journey. Parents of one, like us, that's our journey. Just because we only have one child does not mean that our parenting journey is anything less than the parents of multiples. I've genuinely gotten comments before where I'm talking about something and somebody will say, well, you just have one child, or just wait until you have a second child. Baby, we're done, okay? I asked my husband why he likes to be a one and done dad, and his exact words were, because there ain't 2 of them. And it's as simple as that. We often get, you need to give your daughter a playmate. No, she's at the age now where she's getting friends, she has cousins, she has that covered. She can go there and have fun and then come home to peaceful solitude. I do think that there are some people that feel guilty with the one and done decision, but I can honestly say, personally for me, I don't feel one sliver of guilt, and that's okay. All in all, it's okay to be a one and done family. It's okay not to feel guilty about it. And if somebody keeps bringing up how you need to have another child, just respectfully ask them to Venmo you enough money to take care of a child for 18 years, and something tells me they're not going to bring it up again.
I get a lot of questions about how I knew for sure that I only wanted one baby. I also get a lot of people thinking they're being clever in my comment section when they tell me that since I've made this my whole personality, that I probably must actually want another one deep down. And while these people certainly don't understand how a niche works, they are also actually a little bit right. I made this account as a way to help me process the reality of being a one and done mom. I've never been sure. There has always been a struggle between my heart and my mind. There will always be a part of me that does want another baby, but there is a difference between wanting another baby and should have another baby. And I know that I am not a mother who should have another baby. I could tell you that I knew for sure when I had HG, or when I realized I had postpartum depression, or when our marriage fell apart, or when we went through an 18-month sleep regression that seems to be never ending. And while all of those reasons are big reasons why I don't want another, the truth is that I simply know that I can be the best mom that I can to just one. There will always be a part of me that will grieve that new soul that I could have known. But being a good mom to the daughter that I already have is more important to me. And I think no matter when a mom decides to stop having babies, she'll always wish that she could have had one more.
Listen. My husband and my son are playing upstairs. He brought me tea before, and this is something that happens really regularly, and I'm so grateful. But whenever anyone asks, do you want more kids? Do you ever think you'll have more? We have 1 4-year-old. And I'm just like, would you start over? It's great. They're having a great time. I'm getting me time. And then we trade. Oh, but he'll be so lonely. Fuck you.
One and complete. How did you come to that decision? I have the most amazing, beautiful, healthy 2.5-year-old. I never envisioned only one child. Through life circumstances and through divorce, I find myself having one, and I'm trying to grasp the concept of one and complete, not one and done. But I'd love to hear some stories on how did you decide that, whether life forced you to decide that, or you chose, or you're choosing to be a mom by choice, a single mom by choice. I thought about doing a donor for my second. I absolutely love being pregnant. I love being a mom. And so it's hard feeling like a man made that decision for me to not have another, but also the idea of having 2 children by myself and making sure that I can provide financially and emotionally is also very hard. I don't want to be a half-ass mom selfishly because I want another kid. So I'm trying to grasp one and complete. And if life throws a situation where I feel like I can have another child with another man, then so be it. That's beautiful. But I do want to
come to a healthy decision that if I have one, I will feel complete. My family will be complete.
Before having a baby, I thought I only wanted one child, and now me and my husband, like, we LOL laugh so hard imagining having more than one child. Like, I am so deterred from having more children because honestly, like, pregnancy, and I had no complications. So all of you that have had complications, that have had rough pregnancies, rough deliveries, colicky babies, like, or babies that are like very, you know, high needs when they're infants, I freaking salute you so hard because I actually don't have any of those struggles. And yet couldn't be me, be pregnant again. Terrible for me. Thank God, so happy that I had a healthy, successful pregnancy. What got me through is knowing that I would never have to do it again. And now, even more aligned with that than childbirth, had an unmedicated delivery. All of my dreams came true. Everything in my birth plan was to a T. Had a great delivery. Pain, 10 out of 10, worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Can't imagine more pain. Not doing that again. Newborn, every day I think we are one step closer to him sleeping through the night. Even if it's not until he's like 5, I'm still a day closer. I'm a day closer, babe, because I'm hanging on by a thread. I tell you that right now. It is wild out here. The newborn trenches, yeah. Meanwhile, my son is not colicky, doesn't really have the sundown scaries, latched, and breastfeeding is going easy. Like, I have an angel, gentle, beautiful, like, chill son. He cries, of course. He wakes up in the middle of the night, of course. He's a baby. Come on. But yeah, and still never doing this again. Like, that's crazy. How do you do this? How do you do this more than once? How do you do this multiple times? I don't actually understand. And people say, like, you get amnesia, you don't remember. I would love amnesia. I would love amnesia.
So I've seen this talk a lot recently on TikTok, and I want to say I completely agree. I am a mother of 3. I have a 13-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and life was easy, breezy, beautiful, cover girl when I just had my daughter. And most of the comments in that video are, that's great and all, but from a child's point of view, nothing is going to assure you that if you have another child, that those children are even going to like each other when they grow up. Especially with all the talk about setting boundaries with your family, in relationships, and the importance of mental health, and how so many people are breaking away from relationships with their family members for their mental health. This is a huge thing. I am Mexican American. My grandmother had 9 children. 6 boys, 2 girls, 1 passed away. The 6 boys can't stand each other. The only union that is healthy in that whole relationship are the 2 sisters. The fucking odds, right? She had 8 children, 8 living children. You would have thought it would have been okay. Nope. Because you don't get to dictate personality. You don't get to dictate their future. You don't get to dictate. What if one child goes into drugs and the other one is really just trying to live their best life? Like, you can't. And this is a very healthy thing for people to start saying, for mothers to start saying, that motherhood is fucking hard, because that was never taught to me. I was always taught to learn how to cook and clean because one day you're going to have kids and you're going to have to make a man happy. I was never taught cook and clean so you can survive, because you deserve to eat the delicious meals that you cook with your hands, because you deserve a clean space. It was always for other people. And it's very responsible of her to be like, you know what? I'm already spread thin. I don't want to bring another child into this world if I know I can't give it my all. It's not selfish. It's very self-aware and very responsible. And it's really pissing people off. And I don't know why. Because as a mother of 3, if I could go back, I probably just would have had my daughter. I love my children. But it is really hard, especially because I have a child that is 3 years old and he has special needs. We went from a 2-income household to a 1-income household. These were things that we weren't expecting, we weren't ready for. Yeah. So if you're a mom out here on TikTok and you're talking about the nitty gritty, the truth, keep speaking it. It makes people uncomfortable because it almost makes you look into your life and be like, damn, you're right. But I don't want to say it, because if I say it, it means I don't love my children, and that is not true at all. What we really need to be teaching is teaching our daughters, hey, You can be very happy. You must make yourself happy first. You must be happy with yourself first before anybody else can make you happy. That's what we are trying to do. That's what we need to keep doing for our children.
Yeah, I feel comfortable explaining this. We do plan on being one and done after this pregnancy. I'm 6 months pregnant right now. Like, even before IVF, when we were just trying naturally, our plan was always to just be one and done. And then we did the whole IVF, and at the end of it, we had 2 good, healthy embryos. I'm pregnant with one, and we have one still frozen. And the only reason we have ever even considered having a second kid is because of that second embryo. Like, if we had 4 embryos, we would get pregnant once, and then it's like, well, I'm not going to use 3 more embryos. I'm not going to have 4 kids. So, like, it's easy to make that decision. But when there's only one in the freezer, it's harder because you're like, man, should I just give that one a shot? But overall, I have found that being pregnant at 34 isn't very comfortable. Pregnancy is considerably harder than I thought it was going to be. It's more uncomfortable than I thought it would be, and I'm enjoying it less than I ever imagined I would. And the other thing here at play for me is age. I'm 34 right now, and I will have this baby while I'm 34. I'll be like 34 and a half. And then I plan on breastfeeding this baby for a year. And I think what a lot of people don't know is it's generally not that advised to do another transfer until you have stopped breastfeeding for 6 months. And that is because breastfeeding creates this hormone prolactin in your system, and prolactin prevents implantation. So to do a transfer with prolactin in your system decreases your odds of it working. Now, some clinics will still transfer anyway, like they don't care as much, but a lot of clinics won't until you've hit that 6-month non-breastfeeding window. But anyway, so that means that I wouldn't be eligible to do another transfer until I turn 36. And I just cannot imagine doing this at 36 when it's this hard at 34. I know it can be tough to be an only child, but our nephew is only going to be a year and a half older than my son, and I've talked to his mom about this a few times, and she doesn't plan on having more kids either. So we just want to raise the 2 of these boys in like really close proximity. Like, I know they're cousins and they don't live together, but we want to raise them as close to brothers as possible. And you know, things may change in the future. I still have that other embryo frozen. I'm going to keep paying that $500 a year to keep it frozen until we make like a final decision. But right now, I just don't plan on transferring it.
I'm a one and done mom. And I don't care what anybody says, that's a flex. That's literally, you know, when people ask me, I'm like, no, I just have 1 kid. I just have 1 child. I get so gassed for myself because it's just like, damn. Lord, please don't let me get pregnant after making this video. Please do not humble me. There's nothing wrong with having multiple children. I am just speaking about how lucky I am to only have 1. Not only am I a one and done mom, I'm a one and done mom, and I have a girl. And I have a girl. Like, guys, it's such a flex. You don't understand. Going out with my little girl and my daughter, like going out with my daughter, and people are like, oh, how many kids do you have? And I'm like, I just have 1. I just have 1. They're like, oh, do you not want to have any more? Like, is she not going to be lonely? You're like, no. I just have the 1, thank you. I'm never gonna have to drive that, you know, them big family cars. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I'm just saying that's not my cup of tea. Like, I have her little car seat in the back. It's there. If we go to Tesco and she wants something, take it. Have it, babe. Have it. You're my only baby. You're my only daughter. Finding childcare is not hard. I'm not begging people. I'm not begging my mom. Like, it's just I have 1 child. For me, it's the people that try to make me feel bad for having 1 child. They'll be like, oh, when you die, who is she gonna console with? Bro, I have a sibling. Do you think Junior's gonna flipping console with me? Even if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't have another child because it's just too much. Not even just financially, even emotionally, because as a mom, you're just so invested into this little human's life. I cannot imagine being invested into 2 humans' lives. Oh, I'm a one and done mom, and that's a flex. Don't ever let anybody trick you out of your position and make you think that's not a flex. That's a flex. What do you mean I only have 1 child? Yo.
Why is it every time I speak to one of these young men, I say, yeah, I got a child, I just got one, and then I be like, I'm living my best life, da-da-da-da, and they say, oh, well, do you want to have any more kids? And I blankly, with a straight face, say no. And they say, really? Well, how old are you? And I say, I'm 27. How old is your kid? He's 7. So you don't want any more kids? Bitch, it's been a long 7 years. In this economy, sign up to be a single parent again? Moral of the story, never have more kids than what you can financially take care of by yourself. And to sit up here and ask me why or act like me saying I don't want any more kids, it's like it's not the end of the world. It's not. And you trying to push kids on me, but not trying to push the narrative of marriage, that's what I'm even more scared of. Stop this. It's okay to be my baby mama thing. It's not okay. It was never okay. That shit is ghetto.
PSA, it's okay for a mom to be one and done. This doesn't make her a bad mom. This makes her self-aware. She knows her limits physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. She's honoring what she can handle. Don't pressure her. Stop asking if she's having another.
For some people, being a good mom looks like not having any more kids. And I am one of those people. It is amazing to me how much pushback moms of one child get. So many people that are like, you should have another one, you should give them a sibling, just have one more. I don't want to. I don't have the patience, maybe I don't have the resources, maybe I just don't want to. And it's shocking the amount of people that won't accept that answer. I don't understand the hate that comes with being one and done. Why would you want a human being who is expressing that they don't want any more kids to have another kid? Why would you want a child born to a mom who said she doesn't want any more kids? Why would you want that? I also think there's something noble about being able to be self-aware enough and honest enough to say, I want to stop at one. There's nothing wrong with that. One and done because I want to be.
Can we normalize choosing to have only one child? This is my personal opinion only, and we are one and done. And here's why. I fully recognize that having kids is a lot of work. And I'm just not up for splitting my time and energy between multiple kids. I really enjoy my work, and having one child allows me to have more time to work, to be honest. I love that we'll be able to travel a little bit more easily. I also like that we can live with less. Pouring all of my attention into one child is kind of nice. And overall for us, it just feels right. And it's okay to do things your own way. For you, if that means having 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids, that is amazing. Let's normalize moms doing what's right for them and their family.
I was on a walk with my mom friend yesterday, and I said I'm at the point now where I'm kind of could consider a second child, 25% leaning towards that, 75% leaning towards one and done. My husband feels the same. And she was asking me why, and I was like, well, I really like to paint, and I like to read, and I like to work out, and I like to have time for myself and fill up my own cup. You know, we don't have any family nearby or anyone to help out. And I like to have time at the end of the night with my husband, and I like to nap when he naps. And if we have a second child, I wouldn't be able to do any of those things. And she was like, wow. She's like, I wouldn't have considered that. And I was like, considered what? And she said, myself. And I think a lot of people do that. They make this huge sacrifice of themselves. And I feel like I'm already sacrificing so much. Like I can't sacrifice anymore and also keep my sanity. But yes, that's your life. It's the life that you have to live and wake up and do every day. So I think that should be the number one factor, is yourself. It's the life that you're going to live, man.
Having an only child is the reason I'm sane. I'm 37 years old, I'm a first-time mom to a toddler, and I am leaning heavily towards the one and done club. Let me tell you why. The first reason is the most obvious one, resources. Now, when we talk about resources, you can talk about multiple types of resources. Obviously, financial resources. For me, it's also emotional resources. When it comes to financial resources, having a child is extremely, extremely expensive. It was really important to me that for the first couple of years of my child's life, that she have personalized care. I have my own thoughts and views on the socialization of children, and I wanted her to be under the care of a nanny for at least the first year and a half, 2 years of her life. I would not be able to afford that with 2 kids, especially if I joined the 2 under 2 camp. There's just no way I'd be able to afford that. I'm a full-time working mom, and I refuse to give up my career. So when it comes to just the resources, the financial resources of having one, it's obviously much easier. Fast pass at Disney World when we go, girl, you got it. Fun birthday parties, travel experiences, yes, they're yours. I don't think that my husband and I are going to be able to afford that for 2 children. And nor do we want to do what we perceive as maybe like the diluted version of an experience based on cost. And all of this could change. That's the caveat, right? People change their minds. But right now, I am firmly in the I want to be one and done camp. Finances are a big part of it. Second, emotional resources. My husband and I, we both work full time. We have demanding jobs. The person who I am at 5:30 every day with my daughter takes a lot of mental and emotional energy out of me, right? I'm not just gonna sit there and scroll on my phone. I have to be engaged. I read to her, we do flashcards, we do pretend, we go outside, we're physically engaged, we're mentally engaged. And I have limits. Like, I have a threshold. I'm already operating outside my maximum. Like, I am giving this 175%, and I just don't think that I would be able to do that again so soon for 2 people at an equitable level. So those finance and emotional resources of mine that are limited, I prefer to allocate to one individual. Reason number 2, me. Me. Mom. Happy wife, happy life? No. Happy mom, happy family. Pregnancy was hard. Postpartum was hard. The night that I came back from the hospital with my daughter, I started hallucinating. My birth experience was beautiful up until the very end, where things did not go the way that I wanted them to go. By the time I had come back with Al, I had been awake for almost 72 hours. And you guys know what sleep deprivation can actually do to a person. The thought of going through postpartum and pregnancy again honestly makes me physically ill. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, because pregnancy and the newborn phase is supposed to be this super rewarding, you glow and it's your role, your biggest role in the world is to be a mother. It made me feel like I was living outside my own body. And that's my experience. Some people have a beautiful experience. Pregnancy and postpartum for me were my own personal hell. Toddlerhood, we're good. You have tantrums, you have big feelings, you yell, you hit, you scream, you break. I'm emotionally regulated enough to handle it. But with my hormones being the way they were, with my body feeling the way it was, mind, the breastfeeding journey, I was not in fighting shape as a pregnant and postpartum woman. And I don't think I can do that again. And I think it's okay to know your own limitations and your own, your own max out zone. My max out zone maybe not as high as my mom's or my grandma's or the women before me that have like 6 kids. I just know myself. I know that I am going to be able to be a better mom to one child all in than I will be to dividing myself up against multiple children. And then reason number 3, the standard of care I want for my daughter. The notion that this is selfish is ludicrous to me, because 1, there's no guarantee that siblings are going to be ride or die for the rest of their lives, or that children are destitute because they don't have a sibling. I would hope that through our network and the partner that she decides to be with one day, and her career fulfillment and all of her life lived experiences, that when my husband and I do pass, she's not sitting there like, oh my God, I'm alone, I'm broken. I am centering her happiness. So the notion that this is somehow selfish, it just doesn't resonate with me. She is the center of my world. When I tell you that I live and breathe my daughter. She is the reason I do every single thing I do. She is the reason I work hard. She is the reason I exercise. She is the reason I go to the doctor. That may not be the healthiest approach, right? Because I should be doing those things for myself, and obviously there's an element of self-care to all of those things. But my daughter is my world. And I give that to her, and I come with that energy every single day. And centering her and making her the center of, like, making her at the forefront of every decision that I make is way easier to do for one individual than it is to do with 2 kids. I'm talking like she's going to, right? With siblings, there's like a hierarchy at home, and a lot of the social interactions that they have within their walls is how it teaches them how to go out into the world and interact. And so for my daughter, most of that is going to be learned externally, but I don't think there's a safer place for a child to learn fear, disappointment, the impact of hearing the word no, rejection, failure, want. There is no safer place for my daughter to learn those feelings than right here with me. That is what I'm here for, and that's what my job is. And so because of all of those reasons, right, the resources, knowing my own limitations, this like fierce desire I have to prop up my daughter and do my absolute best with her and give her everything that I have, those are the reasons why I'm really leaning towards one and done. And again, this may all change, but the one thing I have noticed, and I won't get into it too much because this is supposed to be a positive video, nobody comes harder for you than people who disagree with your approach about one and done. It's like they want you to have a kid, and then when you have a kid, they just want you to have another one. And these are the people that know how hard pregnancy was for you, how hard postpartum was for you. I don't know what kind of social conditioning this is, but it's like they're ordering a burger at McDonald's. They're just like, when are you gonna have another one? I'm like, did you not see me in therapy for 6 months with my postpartum anxiety, struggling, crying? What am I, just a vessel of reproduction to you? And it irks me to no end. So if you guys are in the leaning towards one and done camp, lean into it. There's nothing wrong with it. You have your child's best interest at heart. And if you decide that you want to have more kids and you want to fill your house with a bunch of children, that's beautiful too. I just think there's not enough discourse on why it's okay and sometimes advantageous for certain families to just be one and done.
I saw somewhere where they said that having one child is being close to having none. And I low-key agree. I feel like with one child, you're not as overstimulated. It's very obviously way more financially affordable. From my experience, it's like that I have a best friend. I have someone that's coexisting life with me. I haven't had to cut out or cut down many expenses as far as myself. Honestly, I haven't had to cut down any. I'm still able to get my nails done. I'm still able to get me anything that I want, like that large coffee with an extra shot of espresso, 10-piece lemon pepper wings, you know what I'm saying? And I have no problem sharing my things. And I have a daughter, so we're gonna be using mainly the same things anyway. I don't mind sharing, never mind sharing. So I feel like if I just stay one and done with my baby girl, I'm gonna have fun in life. Having one child, one girl, one daughter, that's where it's at. That is where it's at. Coming from someone who used to want 5 kids, I'm happy that I've decided to be one and done. Life going so good with one, I wouldn't dare have another one. I'm trying to be a rich mama.
Let me tell y'all, it's okay to be one and done. It is perfectly fine to be one and done. I'm telling you right now, it's okay to be one and done. It don't matter how old your baby is. It don't matter if you pregnant right now. It's okay to be one and done. That baby gonna show you wanna be one and done. My baby showed me every single day that I am one and done. She's showing me right now that I'm one and done. Yeah. I look into my future and I don't see another child coming out this hoo-ha. Pregnancy, 2 out of 10. Childbirth, -0.000 out of 10. Would never recommend. A fake whining baby right now. 0 out of 10. Will not recommend. Postpartum depression. Y'all already know. -0 out of 0 out of 0 out of 0 out of 0 out of 0. Not recommended. Yeah, we one and done. You happy with that? Yeah. She cool with it. So I'm cool with it.
The number one thing I hate about being a one and done mom is when you tell people that I'm pretty much good on having any more kids. The first thing that come out their mouth is, well, when you find you a good man, girl, you're not gonna feel like that. That man gonna make you feel so bad, and y'all gonna have more kids. I said I don't want any more. Why is that hard to understand? Because let me tell you something. I cannot risk taking another L and becoming a single mom of two by two different men. Do you know how insane that is? So when I say I'm good, just leave it at that. Just be like, okay, girl. All right. Yes, mama. Just leave it at that.
I seen a video on here by this lady talking about why she is one and done, and I couldn't stitch it. So I'm gonna tag her below so you can watch her video because it was really nice. But I want to add on to this because I am also one and done. And if you see my other video I made where I was telling women like to kind of take their time with having children, but this one is gonna be about why I'm one and done. Having one fucking kid, and I have a 9-year-old. Okay, I'm at the easy part. But it is so easy to have one child. Like, whether you make a lot of money or a little bit of money, caring for one child is fucking easy. Like, I don't have to worry about strollers anymore, diapers. I don't have to worry about, like, struggling to find a sitter because he's 9 years old. So he has friends' houses he can go to. Everybody wants to watch him like it's just him. Times when I wasn't making as much money in life, it really didn't affect my child too much because I only had one kid. So like, let's say I was like down on my luck and I wanted to take us out, I could go get one meal and split it between my one child, like me and him, like, and it would have been okay. There was also a point in my life because I was a single mom that I couldn't afford a 2-bedroom and I had to get a 1-bedroom. And I remember thinking like, I'm so lucky to have one child because what I ended up doing in that situation is I gave him the bedroom and I slept on the couch. But like if I had 2 kids or 3 kids, like I wouldn't be able to do that. I would always kind of have to have a bigger space. And no shade to you if you do have multiple kids and you have a 1-bedroom, because I know as a mom, we're going to do what we got to do. People always be like, oh, you don't want to give him siblings? You don't feel bad that he doesn't have siblings? No, because I was an only child up until I was 15 years old, and I love my siblings. I hope they don't see this, but I really liked being an only child better. Like, an only child is fucking spoiled. Period. An only child, being an only child is nice. I don't give a fuck about, I don't want to share nothing with anybody. I don't want to split my parents and my resources. Like, I really don't. Plus, his dad has had 4 more kids, so he got other siblings over there. I don't gotta have them. And I have a lot of nieces, nephews. My mom actually had a lot of more kids later on in life, so he has a bunch of uncles and aunties that's really like cousins, so he'll be fine. But I love having one child. Like, it is so fucking easy. Like, it was hard in the beginning because babies are hard, but the older that he gets, like, having one child is fucking great. I spoil the fuck out of him, and I'm able to because I only got one. I also struggle with the fact of knowing that I had my first child with the person who I would never give another child to, and it does really scare me that if I had another child and that father was just this great, amazing father, how that might make my son feel. And again, I know this personally because all of my siblings' dads, other than mine, they're great dads. And that shit did kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And, you know, not that it's their fault or anything, but it's hard watching your siblings have, like, such a great dad. And their dads, you know, call me daughter and they treat me the same. But at the end of the day, I'm not really their daughter. So it'll never feel like that. And I wouldn't want my son to feel like that either because I know how it feels. When I had my son, I also gained a lot of weight. I was 140 pounds before I had my son. After I had him, I was 230 pounds. I do not ever want to go through that kind of big body change ever again in life. I'm sorry. Like, I've even thought about, like, if I ever did have another kid, maybe in years, I'm going to have to adopt. Because a baby coming out of this body, after I done lost all that weight, it's not happening. Because clearly, my body just gains weight like a fucking whale when I get pregnant. So, not doing that again. It's also way easier for me to travel. Like, I've took my son so many places. He's been to Hawaii. He has been to Vegas. He's been to both Disneyland parks in LA and in Florida. He has been to New York. He has been to Miami. Like, he has been really a lot of places. And when I used to be booking these trips and like even paying to get into amusement parks and things, like I would be like, damn, I'm glad I got one kid, because that shit's expensive. Like, I couldn't imagine paying for 3 and 4 plane tickets and 3 and 4 Disney tickets. Like, my kids might not have never went if I had more kids, especially with the way inflation is now. And also becoming a mom, I realized as much as I love my son, I do not enjoy, I don't want to sound bad, but being a mom is really not for me. Like, I don't see myself being a mom of 4 and 5 kids, because motherhood just did not really do it for me. Like, it just didn't do it for me. Like, I'm hella unserious. I play too motherfucking much, and I'm selfish. I was an only child, and I liked it. Okay, I liked it. Like, when National Siblings Day come around, it's always a big joke in the family, because I'd be like, I don't celebrate because I'm not happy to have siblings. Like, I wish she would have stopped. Don't eat me up too much on here, y'all. I'm just being honest, as I always am. And yeah, those are the reasons why I'm one and done. And can't nobody shame me, make me feel bad, or coerce me into having any more kids any fucking time soon.
It's so crazy that I just came across this TikTok talking about how the moms who choose to be one and done is equivalent to a mom that has no children. And that is so true. When I tell people that, oh yeah, I may be one and done, I mean that. Because with one child, you still can move around, you still can do what you want to do, and you still can be selfish with yourself, if that makes sense. Versus you having multiple children, and now you have to think for 3 people, and that 3 people is yourself included. Like, I could take my babe to my mom, and I know she's good. I could leave my baby with her dad, I know she's good. I could leave my baby with her other grandparents, I know she's good. And me and him can have a long time. My mama can get her one weekend, his mama can get her one weekend. It's like, we still have time to do whatever we want to do. We're not spending a shitload on diapers, clothes, shoes, food. Like, everything is still how it was. Just got a little one. That's it. But I could not imagine having this freedom with multiple children, or expenses with multiple children, or the stress and the mental and emotional health with multiple children. Like, one child is for me.
I really feel for moms that are one and done. You cannot have a single opinion as a first-time mom without someone with 4 kids being like, well, as a mom of 4, I thought that at first too, but after a couple. Some people are only ever first-time moms, and constantly invalidating their opinions and how they plan to raise their child because they don't have a whole hockey team yet. How they want to raise their child is still valid. I voiced that I don't give my infant sugar, because why does a 7-8-month-old need sugar? They don't. And that's from my background working in health, wellness, nutrition. I don't care if you give your kid sugar. But when I say that and immediately I'm hit with mom of 3, mom of 5, I thought that too. Now, but like lecturing me, life's too short. Why do you care? You don't get to lecture me because I'm a first-time mom, because guess what? I'm probably only ever going to be a first-time mom. So I never get to have an opinion about anything because of that. It's just like being always made to feel like your opinions are silly or not as much of a mom because you don't have a whole gaggle of kids is so weird. Like, you know so much more than me because you have 5 kids. I can't have any passionate stance on how I raise mine. What? So if you're a one and done mom, I feel for you because it's a little crazy.
And as a mom of 1, your child does not need a sibling. Do not allow society and other people to pressure you into believing that you're doing something inevitably wrong because you are not providing your child with a sibling. Your only child needs a mother who is healthy, happy, and whole, more than they need another sibling. And there's no guarantee that they're going to be close to their sibling. The thing about being a mom of 1 is that it puts you in a very intentional space of motherhood, and you're able to really, really see motherhood for what it is and what you don't want it to be. And just think about what could possibly happen to you as a mother with adding more children, how that's going to change your finances, how that's going to change you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, just everything that's involved with being a mom of multiples. Not only that, it could change your relationship with your only child and the way that things are going. So don't fall into that trap that you just need to give your child a sibling just because they need a sibling. I only have one child because that's all I can handle. I am a one and done mom. I've sent plenty of men on their way when they ask me to get married and have more children, or they express their desire to have multiple children. I tell them, listen, baby, I'm not the woman for you. Go on out there and find the woman for you that will give you a baby, because it's not me. And I ain't never felt no kind of way, and I've never regretted it.
And your money in half. I wanted my daughter here to give her everything, anything that she wants to do. Let's go travel, any activities she wants to do. I'm going to be able to provide that for her. And if I were to have another one, I might not be able to give either of them everything that they want to do. AKA, kids are fucking expensive. Another reason is I plan to homeschool. I have it in me to homeschool one. I don't think I have it in me to homeschool two. Obviously, these are personal choices, but this is what I had planned before I even got pregnant with my daughter. And also, at the end of the day, I am a single mom by choice. I wanted my daughter here more than anything, and I'm going to give her the world. If people have more than 2 kids, they have their hands full. I know I have my hands full with one, but yeah, one and done, baby.
Stop asking the one and done moms when they're having another one. If they're having another one. I just had a conversation with a stranger. Oh, are you pregnant? Yes, ma'am. Oh, what is it? It's a boy. Oh, I know you're trying for a girl next. No, ma'am. I'm just trying to go into labor and not die and have us both be healthy and go home, honestly. I'm about to say, well, you change your mind. You don't know me. What? Why would I change my mind? Have you endured this man? Just because y'all was popping them out don't got nothing to do with me. I don't know nothing about that. I don't want that. Well, he gonna need a friend. He got a friend, me. I built you. I'm your built-in friend. You want to play blocks? I'm with it. You want to color? Shit, I get you the 396 pack crayon. I go on Amazon, get you that 1,000 pack. Get that 900. What you want to do? You want to play trains? We gonna play trains. You want to be a Power Ranger? I'm gonna dress up. I am your friend, and if I'm not, go back and find your daddy.
I mean, what if I don't want to live the way you live?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
I am so happy to see so much more one and done content on here lately, because my child is 10 years old and I'm tired of people asking me, when are you gonna have another one? I'm not. My son is halfway to being an adult. Why do I want to start over? And that's cool for people who want to, but this is it for me, and I'm fine with that. I plan on traveling the world and living my life like a rich auntie with one child. No more.
Why are medical professionals so obsessed with trying to convince me to give my autistic son a sibling? We are dead set on being one and done. And it's not the first time that this happens. I went to go see my OB for routine care. She asked me how many children I have. I let her know I have one. And she was like, oh, you don't plan on giving him a sibling? And I said, no. She said a lot of people decide to give their autistic child another sibling so that when they get older, they could help take care of them. And I said, ma'am, that is absolutely not something that I plan on doing, because I personally don't feel like I would want to give that burden to their sibling, and there's just no way that I would consider even bringing another life into this world to strictly give them the role of being their older sibling's caregiver. Like, I then felt like I had to justify telling her my son is severely autistic. There is no way that I would feel in good moral conscience feel like I need to then have another child so that they grow up knowing that the intention for them being born was so that they could be the primary caregiver of their sibling. I have no idea how my son is going to be as a teenager. I have no idea how he's going to be when he's an adult. I cannot predict the type of care that he is going to need. And to put that on somebody else, knowing that this other human being has their own goals, their own ambitions, I have no idea if they'd want to have children or not. That's going to also heavily influence the relationships that they get into. And she was an older Korean woman, and I know that family is very big to a lot of our cultures, a lot of our Latino, Asian cultures, but like, let's please take a step back, because one, why are you trying to push me to do something like that? And two, she looked at me like I was crazy when she asked me, well, what if you were to get pregnant accidentally? And I said, then I would take care of it. I would not continue with that pregnancy. And she looked at me like she was a Christian pastor who had just been told that I was planning to have an abortion. Her facial expressions told me everything that I need to know about her views on abortion, because she looked at me like I was insane. And I'm just like, you are literally at the forefront of women's health. I'm sure I cannot be the only person that you have ever seen in your entire career who has mentioned wanting to terminate a pregnancy that they did not want to keep. And on top of it, I told her, I'm 36. You really think I'm going to have another child right now, willingly? You're crazy. Just give me my medication and mind your business.
I'm so fascinated with the conversation going on between the moms of one versus moms of multiple kids, because I have felt for a while, ever since having my son, that I was born to be a mom of one. I became a mom last year when I was 36. My husband was also 36, so we obviously had a baby later in life, and by that time, I was very used to being able to have alone time and see my friends whenever I wanted, and go to brunch and go to yoga when I wanted to, and just be able to have me time and have a peaceful home. And since becoming a mother, none of that has changed. Obviously, a huge portion of that is picking the right partner. I think that parenthood with the wrong person would be a miserable experience. So that is like number one. But second to that, just having the one is like, I'm able to still have autonomy. I still have alone time. I'm still able to do what I need to do to like keep myself sane, which is increasingly hard in the country that we're living in. And for me personally, I feel like one is manageable. My husband can go off for the weekend, do what he needs to do. And me alone with my child is like a super great time. I love doing that. And with two, oh my gosh, I know it would be a totally different experience. And I love the fact that so many moms know that they want multiple, they want their children to have siblings. Like, that's amazing. It's not one is the right answer. Just for me personally, I absolutely love the workload that one is. I can handle it. And we're not even in the hardest part. He's 15 months, like it's not going to be all rainbows and roses. I obviously know that, but I feel like I have like the resources to parent one really well.
A question that I get asked almost every single day is if I'm going to have any more kids. The short answer is no. The long answer is the level of sleep deprivation that I felt for the first 9 months of my child's life could have nearly put me into a mental hospital. And the thought of putting myself through that again is my deepest, darkest fear. And I'm not even joking. That was probably the worst 9 months of my life. I'm talking 4 hours of sleep across like 5 days. I was breastfeeding, pumping, he was in and out of sleep. It was horrible. There was like a 6-month period where my then fiance, now husband, and I were not even sleeping in the same room because he obviously had to get up and go to work, and I was dealing with the baby. And it was the most isolating, darkest time of my life. And I haven't really talked to people about it, on how I really truly felt, just because when I get too into detail, it makes me want to cry. But yeah, that was the worst I've ever felt. It was horrible on my mental health. It was horrible for my postpartum experience, and I am so grateful that I made it through that. And obviously he's almost 2 now, and he sleeps 10, 11, 12 hours at night. So obviously we got through it, and that's amazing. But that time, I thought I was never going to get through. I thought it was never going to end. And obviously I know that every kid is different, but the possibility of having another child and having to do that again, like I physically will never allow myself ever to have another child. But yeah, I love my son. I love being a mom. I feel like I was put on this earth to be his mom, and our family feels complete. I don't think that we need to add anybody else to the bunch. But yeah, I would not wish that on my worst enemy. And if you have the resources to have a night nurse or just have help, take advantage of it. Please take advantage of it. Never go through that stuff by yourself. And like, obviously I really didn't have an option, because at the time we were dealing with a lot of stuff, and like, not like relationship wise, but we were losing my mother-in-law to cancer, and my family doesn't live here. So it was a hard situation to navigate, but we got through it. And if you're dealing with that right now, I just want to give you a hug, and it's gonna be over one day. I don't know when, but it's gonna be over one day.
I'm gonna reply to this because even when I go back and watch the video, I really said easy way too many fucking times. And I don't want to diminish anything about motherhood. And I also want to make it clear that I was doing a lot by myself. A whole lot by myself. I'm still doing a lot by myself. But the thing about motherhood, and I think this goes for if you have 1 kid or 7 kids, if you sit up and only focus on the negative parts of it, then it is just going to seem harder than it is. I mean, there's no way around being stressed out when you have kids. There's no way around having to deal with bad schedules, having to discipline a child, being upset that you have to discipline your child because you want to wonder where it came from, and you know you didn't raise them like this or like that, but kids are going to make mistakes. So there's that. Finding a balance as a mother is always going to be hard. You either work too much and you feel guilty because you spend a lot of time away from your children, or you work too less and you feel like you're not giving your kids the best that you could, but you know that you're there with them all the time. I used to get offended when my friends who have more kids than me would be like venting about their problems, and they would say, oh, but you got it so good, you only have 1. Because I would think like, damn, these bitches think I don't go through nothing. But I have to think about it, like, as stressed out as I be, at the maximum of my stress as a mother, there is a mother who's going through this 2, 3, 4, however many children times that they have, and it's probably way harder for them. And I know we all think about the lives that we had before. Whether you have 1 child, you think about what it was like when you had none. I'm pretty sure if you have 3, you think about what it was like when you just had 2. If you got 7, you remember when you had 6 and how easy that was. Anybody, you know, we all reflect and look back on how things have changed due to the circumstances we put our life in, you know? So when you think like that, it is easy. It's easy as it's going to get as a mother, is having 1 child. And the older your child gets, the less you need this support system. Trust me, I understand what it's like not having no family. I already made a video talking about the hardships of being a mom that I personally have. But as your child gets older and they become teenagers, once they hit about 12, you don't need nobody to watch your kid anymore. You don't need that job to confront to your schedule. You don't need all this support that you need in the beginning. So what I'm saying is, when you have 1, you have a quicker chance of getting back to that. You have a quicker chance of getting back to your life as well. And it's just a little bit easier. But hey, you know, if it's hard for you, I can't argue with you.
I am 1 and done. Okay, here are the top 6 reasons I will not be having another kid. No, I will not be explaining further. Go to my YouTube for the full explanation. Number 1, I had a C-section. You're not about to cut me again. Number 2 is in relation to number 1. No man is worth me risking my life again for another kid. Number 3 is my career. Okay, I'm a stand-up comedian, content creator, host, actress, baddie. I can't do all of that with 2 kids. And I'm not about to be a stay-at-home mom. No. Number 4, I've done the mental and physical work to feel sexy after giving birth. I am not about to start over and do that job again. No. I like the way I look. Okay? I don't know if I'm going to like the way I look the second time around, and I'm not going to risk it. Number 5, I do not want 2 baby daddies. I just don't. And not because of what y'all think about having two baby daddies. Because I don't want to text Tyrone, can you come pick him up? Can you come drop him off? Can you eat lunch? Can you da-da-da-da? Can you take him? Can you pick? I'm not doing that. Last reason is money. Okay? Because we eat organic around here. I can't feed two kids organic. No.